Alright, folks, let's talk about something a little bit serious here before I start this live stream. As many of you guys may know, I've talked about it a little bit in my streams, whoever watches my older videos. I used to chew tobacco. I used to chew Copenhagen straight. Alright? Now, let's just sit back and let's talk a little bit here. I used to chew Copenhagen straight. And obviously, for those of you who know your tobacco or from the States, it's the red can that says Copenhagen straight long cut in that order. I used to chew quite a bit. Now we're going to talk about how to quit. All right? So for myself, it was hard. I've been chewing since I was 14. I'm 21 now. I've put over 3,000 cans in my mouth. Right here. Right in these two spots. I've put over 3,000 cans in my lip. That's ridiculous to think about. Now, whenever I was 17, I remember counting it because I used to collect all the cans. I had over 1,000. Well, like 18. But I had a little over 1,000 in 3 years. Here it is 3 years later. And when I was at my worst, it was 2 cans per day. Now, how did I drop back to nothing from 2 cans? Well, here, you got to want to quit. It can go for smoking. It can go for chewing tobacco, any tobacco, okay? Now, before we get into how to quit, let's compare smoking and chewing tobacco. Well, it takes 3 cigarettes to equal 1 pinch of Copenhagen Straight. Copenhagen Straight is 4 milligrams of nicotine per can. Alright? And cigarette-wise, I don't know the whole spill. But it takes 3 cigarettes to equal the nicotine content of 1 pinch, I believe, or it might be 1 can. I think it's 1 pinch. I really do think it's one pinch, which that's a lot. That's a lot of smoking. That's probably deadly to do that, but I was chewing the highest nicotine American tobacco in a can, that is. There's probably like the leaf tobacco or something, which I doubt it. But how did I quit? Well, I've been wanting to quit ever since the car accident. I went 6 months because I was mainly on pain medicine. I was on painkillers I only done them for like 3 months. And then I just stopped taking them because I don't even take Tylenol, Advil, any of that stuff for headaches. I basically have been telling myself for the last 3 years I want to quit. I've tried multiple times and I failed. You know, so I reduced the intake of tobacco. Alright? And by what I mean by that was I would have them in for longer. You know, like my golden rule was no less than a half an hour. It's a wasted pinch. So I bumped it up to an hour, keeping one in for an hour, which I could do that easily. And then I slowly moved it up to 2 hours whenever it become all soggy, you know. And I would get the tobacco because I was highly, highly addicted to getting tobacco. Alright, it almost killed me, basically. But that's not why I quit. I can look death in the eyes and it doesn't scare me ever since the car accident. It's like, whatever, death. Ooh, we all gotta die eventually. Ever since the car accident, that's been my attitude. I look at life a whole lot different than anyone else. Now, I'm not saying I want to die because I don't. I'm just saying I look at it a whole lot different than you guys. Because I've been there. I've not been revived or anything, but I've been close. It's just like it is what it is, you know. I'm going to live life while I can. And ever since then, I was like, I got to quit gutting. So I quit gutting tobacco back in March, I believe it was. And that helped because I wasn't continuously taking them fluids into my body. I was spitting out half of what I was putting in. If that makes any sense. If you guys chew tobacco, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But you gotta start eliminating factors, you know. So I went from 2 cans to a can and a half to 1 can to half a can to no cans, and I've been clean for a month. Now let's get into the side effects. That's the real main point of this video. The side effects: nicotine headaches, withdrawals, which means being tired, wanting to have one in whenever you get bored. That's what chewing tobacco was a perfectionist at. Whenever you were bored, sitting at home at work, driving, whatever, you put one in, you're good. Absolutely. So, growing up with my grandpa owning a farm, you know, bush hogging for several hours, I'd have one in. It just be that. At work, I would go through 1 can in 8 hours. So there'd be some days I'd go through 3 cans because I'd go through a can at work, a can at home, even 2 cans at home, sometimes 2 cans at work. It was mainly sometimes 2 cans at work. So I was getting quite a bunch of nicotine. Now, another thing on how I found was easiest to quit was if you drink soda, which most nicotine users do. You know, like smokers is Mountain Dew, tobacco users is normally Pepsi products because Mountain Dew makes your spit stringy. Like me, I was Coca-Cola, so I was a Coke product. Well, I guess Pepsi product would be Mountain Dew too, but I mean like Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, something like that. But just cut that out. Like Coca-Cola, I was hardcore. You know, I'd go through like 1 to 2 2-liters a day. 1 to 2 2-liters per day. You know, 1 2-liter a day, nothing. I cut that out. We're good. I still drink it, but it's not like I'm intaking it that much. You know, like right now, I'd say probably about a half a 2-liter a day, which that's still quite a bit, but that's a lot better than what it was. You got to cut that out. Now, nicotine headaches. Let's get into that briefly here. I'm currently still battling it. Like right now, I have a small migraine, like right here. Like kind of, ooh, I got an itch right there, but right here. You know, but it's not like a withdrawal. I'm not tired like, or having mood swings. That's another side effect. You'll have mood swings. Bad, but right now I'm perfect. I'm 100% fine. Now I just battled migraines, which you'd be like, oh, if you've been a month without it, the nicotine should be out of your system, so you're lying. That's not the case. The nicotine is out of my system, but my body is programmed from so many years of nicotine use that it's like, hey, you're missing something. Hey, you're missing something. Hey, you're really missing something. And that's my body basically alarming me, hey, your nicotine level is empty. There's nothing. You need it. You know? So it's bad, but use an ice pack on the back of your neck, you know, a cold rag on the back of your neck, a warm shower, putting your feet in warm water, cold water, you know, that stuff will help. And let me explain this a little bit. The ice on the back of your neck, it will help with the inflammation, I guess you could say, of the the brain, or the vessels in your head, like your brain. It helps reduce the swelling on this. Obviously, ice, it helps that. And on the back of your neck, don't tell me why. Actually, the way I found out about that was one day, you know, it was hot outside. You know, I was having a bad nicotine headache. I was like, I just need a cold shower to cool down. Warm water will just make me sick. Because I was feeling nauseous. You know, I done that. The nicotine headache went away. And I was just like, if I would have known about that about 6 months earlier, about the time whenever I quit getting tobacco, that would have been great. Never once crossed my mind. Now, I've taken a lot of cold showers in my life, but yeah, now let's talk about for cigarette smokers. It's a whole lot easier to quit smoking than it is to quit chewing. 100%. If you think I'm lying, I challenge you smokers to go chew for 2 years, not smoking once, and then try and quit. Which will be harder? It'll be chewing. More nicotine. the nicotine lasts in your mouth longer because it's sitting right there. It's like with cigarettes, you're inhaling. Nicotine, with chewing tobacco, it's sitting in your lips, so you take it out, you still got nicotine in there. I mean, with cigarettes and all that, you still got nicotine in your mouth, whatever, but it lasts longer. It's harder to quit. Now, I don't recommend this at all. It actually, I know of people where it's worked both ways. Like, there's a smoker. He went to chewing tobacco. I was like, that's not good. 3 months later, he was done. 100% off of it, and he's still off of it to this day. It's been about a year and a half, I believe. Yeah, about a year. We'll just say a year. But yeah. And then there was one at my last job. He went from chewing tobacco to smoking, and he was able to quit in about 4 to 8 weeks or something like that. He was able to quit real quick. He said for the first 3 weeks of that, the nicotine headaches were so bad, which I can believe it. But you have to stay motivated. It's a motivational thing. It's a mind game type of thing. You have to beat it. You have to 100% beat it if you truly want to quit. If not, that's not my place to judge. I'm just telling you where I've came from. It's done a number to my gums over the years. It's put in its work. It's actually, on 3 occasions, worn a hole in my gum while it was on this side. And you could see the bottom of my tooth through it, and then it's healed over, thankfully. But that's painful, let me tell you. That is absolutely 100% painful. It's done it on 3 occasions. And the last one happened a month ago, actually. Whenever it done it the 3rd time, I was like, alright. And that's whenever I was doing about a half a can a day. So I was like, we're done. It's wearing my gums to the minimal. And you're probably like, oh, it doesn't heal over. It's done. It's healed over. There's no hole. It doesn't hurt. It would hurt eating, drinking, because it'd just be straight food and liquids hitting the bottom of that tooth and hitting that open wound. It does a number. Like smoking, I believe it rots your teeth quicker than chewing tobacco, believe it or not. I think it does, because everyone in my family, everyone I know that smokes, their teeth are actually slightly discolored. Mine's a little faint yellow, not bad though, especially since I quit, but I kept my teeth highly maintained. I mean, you're probably looking like right there. That's not a gap in my teeth. I actually have a tooth right there that sits back, so okay, I guess you could say it's a gap, but it sits back behind it. An overbite, I guess you could say. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to get it fixed because it doesn't bother me, I've lived with it for 21 years, and I'm going to continue to live with it because it doesn't bother me. But now I'm just rambling on, but you have to be willing to put up with the nicotine headaches. That's number 1. That will kick you in the ass harder than anything else. And number 2, the mood swings. You'll be going from happy to depressed, which you'll be in the depressed state for about 3 weeks. For about 3 weeks, you'll have mood swings. Mr. Hank, what did you just do on my floor? He just took a wink on my floor. That's alright, I'll clean it up in a minute, bub. I'm not mad at you. It's my fault. I didn't know you had to go outside. And I still loved you. Even though I gotta sweep the floor because he tore up his blanket. But anyways, the 3rd thing, let's see, the headaches, mood swings, the cravings, the withdrawals. Bad. Absolutely bad. Now before I end this video, let me get into one quick thing. There was a guy I used to work with. He stopped smoking for 9 years, then he started again. And this was last summer. He said every single day for 9 years straight. So however many days that is, I don't know. 9 times 365 or whatever it is, 364 and a half, whatever the hell it is however many days. He said every single day he'd crave a cigarette. You know, I don't crave tobacco. I keep looking over there trying to find a can, and I don't have one. So, because just talking about it makes me want one. But that's the first time I've craved one since the day I quit. Well, about the week after. But the nicotine headaches are here every day. They're like, yo, what's good, homie? But anyways, we're going to end this video right here. 16 minutes. Let's get into this live stream. Let's have some fun. I'm going to put a little bit more ice on the back of my neck, and we're going to hop into this. We're going to get to it, alright? Because it's already like 8 o'clock, and I said the live stream would start at 8, but I had to make this video because of what I'm experiencing, and I want you younger people to know, don't do tobacco. Don't do drugs. Don't drink alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke, so that's good. I don't chew tobacco anymore. That's good. We're still working on it. I can't 100% say I'm done with it because we're still in the fighting stages at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Give me about another 6 months, and then we'll see. Because right now we're still in the battling stages. You know, for 90 days you're in the battling stages. Then from 90 days to 6 months, you know, you're in the kind of the clear zone. You know, you probably won't go back to it. Then from 6 months to a year, you're basically scotch-free. It just depends on how you act. You know, it depends. Just because you see other people doing it, your buddies doing it, your friends doing it, your parents doing it, whatever, doesn't mean you have to do it. It's all right here. It's all how this right here will take it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something. And I'll see you guys in the live stream. I love you guys. Stay classy and let's pop some balloons.